Good morning, my name is David Cox. I'm from Alpha Emmanuel Seventh Adventist Church. I'm one of the elders, and I'm just here to share a brief story with you about myself. And in 1986, I discovered, not I discovered, but I happened to, I was about 14 years old at that time, not knowing what was happening to me because my body just changed, and from my normal size I just put on a lot of weight and so on, and the neighbors and family asked my mom, what is wrong with this? David get so big and so on, you gotta take him to the doctor because something ain't right. So one Saturday in October 1986, my mom decided she's going to the doctor and take me along with her, and we went to a clinic in Bay Street, and then the doctors ran some tests, and so on, they diagnosed that I have a problem with my kidneys. And you know, it was like, how this thing happened? And I was admitted, I was sent to the hospital the same day, spent a whole day and night at the hospital. Then I was admitted to the ward C10, and I was the youngest person in that ward. And I tried to figure out why they put me in such a ward which with hardback men. But later then I found out that this ward was a ward for people who suffered with sickness on the inside. And it bothered me because time after time I see people dying and so on, and I was a little scared. And they say they put me on a deadly ward. And you know, when I saw not only that, but seeing that you have nobody coming, and you will see when you close to visiting time and see nobody as a younger person, you will want to know what's going on. But that is not part of the sickness. But what I'm saying is that after time, and the doctor tell my mom that we got to do a kidney biopsy and stuff, and going through that. But what happened, it did not happen the first time they was planned for the kidney biopsy, but it happened the time after because the nurses were forgotten the eating and stuff, because to do a thing like that you have to stay before eating anything. So on the next time it happened, I went down, prepped everything, and gone down to this room where they put a needle so long down my back. The doctor said, well, you're not going to feel it, but yet still I feel when it went in, and see when I pull out this piece of the kidney to test it and so on. And I spent some time in the hospital, and because when I say I was swollen, I was swollen. But I was swollen, my eyes were, but not let me start with the eyes, because my head was stinging, and then pressing a descent, it was going to descent, my hand was going to a descent, my foot was going to a descent, and it was serious. But when the doctors and do whatever they had to do, and had to cut out of the salt and so on, things began to progress, but not only through by the doctors, but because of the grace of God. And when things was back a certain way, I was discharged, went back home, and you will put people say that when you start to eat this and then they call it licorice and thing, they try to eat up everything. And I like, they not paying attention to what I went through. I started eat up this and eat up that, and next minute it was bigger than how I was the first time. I went back into the hospital and spent a whole month in the hospital. When I get back to myself, I come out and I was not eating anything and get small. And people thought that I would have died because my eyes would sink in the back of my head, lose so much weight and stuff like that. When I walk, I would start to get dark eyes and fall down and stuff and things. So I say, you know, that I go to the doctor all the time and I got prayer for and stuff, and I was still in that, I didn't also feel pain, but I knew when these things would happen. When I began to get my hand up fat, I was able to know that my kidneys acting up. I would press my foot and it wouldn't descend, or the smell of the urine, I would know that something definitely is wrong. So one time as I said, I was home lying down on bed, and my aunt come and she looked for me and she thought that that's it, David is gone. Everybody thought that I would have kicked out, but God was in control. But not on that time, but he was still doing something in me. And the last time that I got sick or began to think, because when I decided to go back and visit the outpatient doctor, the doctor said, "Well, you take so long to come back." Yes, sir, but what happened is, when my mother took me back to the doctor the second time, the doctor said, if you did not bring him, he would have going to catch probably a stroke or whatever or thing like that, because the way how I was swelled bigger and stuff. But after all the swelling went down and the dark eyes and falling down and stuff, I used to be vomiting a lot, and a lot of yellow stuff used to come off my stomach. And I say to myself, as I get a little older, went back to school and so on, and then when I left school and began to work, I remember I went to one workplace and my kidneys started to act back up. And I said, no. I said, it's about time that I put this problem before God. I wasn't in church, I wasn't thing, but I still have this belief that there is a God, because my family, we come up and going to Sunday school and stuff. And I was saying, I prayed to God. And I said to God, to take out these 2 kidneys and replace them with 2 new brand new kidneys. When you replace them, stitch back at the wound and leave no scar, believing that my God has done it for me. And there and then, up to this day, I had no problem with my kidneys at all. And I believe and strongly that God has done it. And I tell God, if you do this for me, I will serve you for the rest of my life. And here I am, a product of God's mercy and God's mighty work on my life.